Gabby Newell. Welcome to the name of the game here. We hope you enjoyed the opportunity to enjoy new doors and games. Listen to the price point, place your cross on the floating price icon and click the use button. Slightly press the price point, place the cross on the ball tip, and press the use button again. Keep some eyeshadow on the game and show you something. In this case, press the down key again. Tell me, what is the story of their dogs? It can be found at gaben@valvesoftware.com. Thanks. Happy. Cicero Cream. One of the things that made us a transit student program that we saw from the Nargarkler drop took us to a new window. Players often think of ways to help fight. This idea was not forgotten for the beginning of the fourth Ruby. Of course, for example, the radio. The instrumental side of the game still exists, but there is something that will help us through that continuity and through
We
it.
look forward to your short stay in the resort. Your drawing has been edited and we are now ready to begin the experiment. However, before we begin, it is important to remember that although fun and learning are important goals of enrichment activities, they can be
devastating.
For your own safety and in the salvation of others, I pray you, do not touch them. Thank you give me a great deal to be happy. The portal will appear after 3 reps, 2 years, 1.
Cicero Kim. It is very important for athletes to get rid of entry too quickly. The first thing you need to know is that the fights themselves, you have to see him at the door where the players can be seen and much more. It is therefore advisable to inform players to choose a career prior to release. Bayrite. We played as an orange jumper who has to be reimbursed. Apparently much has been needed to help him, from the poor or the donor to the burning of gold. Not surprisingly, it would not be good for us to have a second half of life. Credit line. The glass frame is speculation that the player always feels worried that the privacy of the guards, of work and the chambers of the private rooms of the fountain of the light of the interests of castes. Robin Walker. The site is a popular training ground for players. We spend a lot of time in the game introducing a series of sports equipment and then putting those tools in a convenient place. The list starts here where we learn the mechanics button/box before announcing the difficult things.
Excellent. Each room is the perfect lock for customers. However, mark that chip the galvanized material portion of the total product, and the net Urge Your Science publication evaporates all foreign thoughts passing through it. The fate of the Aperture Science Books Cube. Please place the heavy cube in the 1500 megawatt Ape Scientific Heavy Super Collision Charm.
Paul Graham. We want players to feel safe when you're at home, so we won't hit them or damage things in a closed door. Instead, we run to the door, or just send a teleport.
Tino, please move quickly to the lock as the effects of the long button on the button are not part of this test.
Intends to introduce this concept in game train in the presence of a player. In a light system, they definitely know what it is and how well it works. I arrived soon, so he did not understand the player's explanation of the game as a player. He defended it, and decided to explain the intentions of a newcomer. Let's talk. And in this way, he wanted to explain he was always on the dark path there. At least 5 clocks are required through the doors in the exact form to complete the riddle. This type of killing, which is considered to be a non-game game, is the key to the strategy, helping the prisoner to get used to the game.
Well then, you do. Please note that the bloody smell is not part of any deterioration, but the result of aperture material embossing ribs. In rare cases, it can fill teeth, crowns, crusts, and toothbrushes.
On this map, athletes are driving at speeds without seeing what was happening. Stop the players and look at the Portuguese gun that created the blue portal. We introduced a mandatory violation, which we call the gateway. The effect of particles and loud noises distract them.
Very good. Now you have a portable device. With their help, you can make your own door. Inward vision has proven to be safe. Yes, the council nevertheless had not to miss the perfection of the manufacture of the base. Don't look at the end of the job. Do not put the device in the water, even if it is naturally necessary in situations. Perkins and chain-lock velvet, the difference between them.
The room helped the players understand that the entrances and exits were not related to the color of the entrances. We created this puzzle because players think there is no orange portal to keep players in the orange portal. When a player in Portugal shows a place, that we have to split the image on the side of the Portuguese camera. The idea, and it becomes clear, of course, unless there's an evidence to the contrary, we will show the ends of the diamond between the visible gate and the abrupt gate. The developer gate is removed, not different things.
Congratulations. Note, the opening lesson that your girlfriend takes every day is a great time to try.
General Rocage. Creation has a double process with 2 destructive fields. It's called Fizzle. In the test, the scorer after the last performance defines each individual place and the right to play in order to reach the players in each part. A potential issue has been identified in the user list.
For the test for each of the 4 corners, for he is our well-doing.
That is it.
There is only one correct answer to the initial training goals. This is to prevent the normal operation of the image. The players stood at the door to open the books due to the stability of the bucket cooker. This bonding connection is an indicator of the relationship between the container and the head and the rest of the head. But there was a lot of unrest after the
As a
game.
function from all the work of the authorities, do not destroy the test equipment. For your own protection, do not destroy legitimate test toys.
Combining doors with mechanical mechanics is a daunting task that needs to be repeated for it to work properly. I can show all the sides of the playground. It is necessary to change the shape, so that its shape, such as the box, wall, and floor, will vary. That side, this form, the first steps of a powerful problem in this generation move the second half, up to 500 milliseconds, to calculate the maximum amount.
Once again,
It may
the
not
work
seem
of the great
far-fetched
city,
in
as
the
part of
Nandin's
the
life,
test phase, so
but
as
it
not
was
to
evident
monitor
in
the
this
next
broken
room.
game
You
when the
will
doors
be
opened.
lonely.
Finally,
Good luck.
we devised a way to create a physical environment in the barn around the doors using the wrong ones, but not dealing with the source of the final material. Useful endpoint: 500 milliseconds to 510 milliseconds, only 10. Invisible in class.
Some things about your pack sheet. Do not destroy test toys.
The first portal of this portal provides a chaotic environment, like two Half-Lives. Unnecessary things are everywhere. The players were so worried that they immediately realized that Portugal was interfering in the training process. The art style has been kept simple to make the lab more comfortable. Our modular approach is confident that the Chamber of Commerce will make drastic changes in these areas.
Main temptation was destroyed. As part of a real experimental test, our old adage has shown that we cannot keep this house a normal feeling. Good work. The part of the protocol is required so as not to hinder the test for us to give. 2. One truth remains, 3 years old. Main temptation was destroyed. Safety is one of the main objectives of the Resuscitation Center, while the science wing aperture found on the left side of the emergency room can be a problem with bullets, fog, etc. If you want proof.
Instead of teleporting, you can easily leave without official portals. We sit down. Before sitting down, we tested a variety of screen shapes, and their visual noise and reflection made it easy to determine
In the name of
distances.
whom it is here, in this regard, in the matter, he should be proud hometown. Inhibitors are required for all mobile phones. However, there was a glare and a threatening glare at the power supply, and your safety was compromised. Good opening information on the use of unstable scaffolds. So come, check out the bedroom partition.
Rides a bicycle at the Capitol, but these fraudulent activities are a good sign that Alice is trying to chase a train. They kill them like their player. The end is with the nations. At the same time, puzzles and new ready-made players can be killed after answering the game. Taking this a step further solves both problems.
article or section by expanding it. The relationship with the Council of Ministers leads to a bad sign in your official test report, followed by death. Successfully.
While learning the basics of building, we quickly put some ideas into action. For example, this is the first time the power set puzzle has been introduced. Many PlayStation players are shocked, thanks to this puzzle that simultaneously introduces new ideas. In response, we set up 2 test rooms in front of this radiological training room. We talked about waking up and looking at the relationship between door interactions. The part I didn't enjoy the most was grass and farming. Sorry, the iffy scaffold on the horns of a scorpion eagle. I didn't think it should be exposed to this live.
Please note that any occurrence of an accident is simply a means to an end. The nursery is sorry to inform you that this next test is not possible. Never make a decision.
A few months before the promotion, graphic design techniques applied to many people. It is easy to hate it. Unfortunately, it is not compatible with antibiotics. The video has long been remembered by the court using visual effects. When this error is moved to the system, the bathroom is sent back to the portal viewing interface with the help of wax paper to select the appropriate elements for Portugal. These programs are only effective if they are ordered to the end without damaging the antigens. It is impossible to incorporate the idea of a screen.
Also, the House of Commons will release sympathies for this unforgettable test environment.
As the cause of science disciplines could easily happen, visual heaters are installed in the room to keep an eye on the player. The design is based on the suburban train and sharp objects. Represents the background and objects, as in the auxiliaries of the gate, and on the
this
ability
camera
to
is wrong, if we are now. Beautiful. You are always motivated and competent in the face of extreme depression.
The Portuguese movement is difficult to describe, not only for some part of the repetitive game, but for these mysterious events. We introduce the idea to go through individual portals. There's AI that clearly explains the parts of the puzzle. In most games, we ran away.
Hello again. Review our first piece of advice. This show is fast, good. Main temptation was destroyed.
Another difficult idea to use gravity is to shoot out the door. No other portal will be able to use it. We will call it Throw. We made a sleek stone block that fitted into a nice chessboard.
Surprisingly, how you portal affects how you move forward. I mean, you seem to understand how it can affect motivation going forward.
Initially, the ceilings of these exit doors were geometric, but the developers forcibly refused to look at them. This is another example of a classic game design that deceived players into need. By placing the door on the moving piston, we can make it work where it is visible to the player.
Power, mass performance, and speed are hidden in the middle of the entrance. In the rabbinic narrative, something unexpected happens, something unexpected happens. The breeding center promises to provide a safe haven for testing.
Il se passe en phase experience. Ce coup-ci, l'insecte request police provide le pass.
We know what we're looking for.
For example,
While the
the
players
floor
were
here
playing
will
the
die for
game,
you.
he went
Try
in
to
and out,
avoid it.
and the bright cloud started. Therefore, the subject and essence of the riddle is to investigate it. It features the player's clock on the balcony. After the gates of Paris, the women and men who had played with the power of the bus were removed from the Gotten Gate with women.
Press this key primarily to open the door wide. However, players playing are so intertwined that they will not be able to match the buttons in the search box. Change puts a big button on us by removing the box associated with the gods who lifted the heights. But playwrights should not shoot Portugal by the door to provoke them. He hopes that players would be afraid to walk in the dark and open the door for men to answer the password at the same time.
This waistband is designed to do the things that are most important, and now, the players are looking for a full-fledged key release gun. The circle is dark on it, and it holds tight.
top slots. As part of a protocol test options, we would like to introduce you to a fun article. Aviation is now more expensive than the authorities and everyone's income.
The city of birth here.
Marble filling.
The Players should be punished after proposing an important new idea. For example, after meeting the board of directors, they forgot to threaten the players. Scientists chose this type of gossip, but he tried to fly.
However, in the two portals, the government's test will not take a long time. If you feel thirsty and dizzy, please feel free to leave. One of the animal hunters will be sent to treat you with peptic acid and adrenaline rush.
From visual technology to final design, this is the first step on Facebook. We choose this with a map because it connects a small area of the sports content to another area, most of us. The view on the commercial side of the house seemed unnecessary. Helps players focus on simple wheel design. Under it, the BCC also provides the most fertile areas ahead, which helps the sense of progress. Tested the layout of several portals in this game and solved puzzles. We tried to tell them about dating, but they were not enough to sell. If the character has a reason, it is difficult to add games and abandon them.
Main temptation was destroyed. As already stated in the protocol, required tests can now be fabricated. When you try, you can lose.
That is Once Pompey enters the box, the door handles can be attached to the other side of the box door, then locked in the door, but there's no key in the box. We will install a special driver who will connect the pipe to see and adjust the operation so that the driver does not have access to the correct equipment.
All Plans Technology Manufacturing Outdoor Pool takes power base to inform them that you understand the issue. Information about implementation or what is provided there is not required, and you are a great lesson.
Many players put a ladder here, and it leads to the rest of the puzzles. If the level of the threat is easy to see in the following, the player will return a part of the puzzle. But in the light, and in these and others, is the discovery of metals, the dark path. Just call before the jump. Fixed ninja effect. This is a good place to evaluate a new style. If you put a hole in the side of the road, the effect will always be there. In fact, we support the flow of information we need through the top 9 ports. In the last sentence, I had the idea of not doing it for a while. This is not fun, but it seems to be different. Players have nowhere to look. The living room, where it provides a flat surface with low temperature light, is directly connected. The light box is turned on in a test room. Starting tomorrow, the road will rest, and the player will look at different angles and help move forward.
Very good. A is being used is activated in the main chamber of the Victory of Life.
Oops. Store. Napkin story, napkin story, napkin story, napkin.
To put it bluntly, their interest or the members of the Peace Center are guilty. After testing, and the dark art of the cake is possible. Peace be upon you all. Thank you for your help. Main temptation was destroyed.
There is a lot of speculation in this area that the player will enter the first stage, the difficulty in the first degree. For these things before this work is done in two ways. First of all, the photo booth shows different business partners. We also offer some new features in playgrounds. Top players don't want to see anything new. It's easy, and we didn't copy the fees for it to respond. Players and scientists will enter the final accuracy for the first installment, providing a better introductory level before the game.
Main temptation was destroyed. Main temptation was destroyed.
In this puzzle, players have to navigate the energy ball from various Portuguese objects. Most of the players were shocked among the early players. The gallery was designed to fit only the upper half of the room. Problems will be left to the players.
Main temptation was destroyed.
Using our plates, we realized that most of our players don't know how to avoid closing the door completely. In order to meet the risk and many other aspects of the door entry is necessary, so we have used this slack, which is the only way to find out how to use a different type of flight simulator. He always doubles before playing well and needs more days for extra days.
Robin Walker. The main purpose of the lab is to provide training in two ways. For the previous toys, we used the visual marker. The wall was plastered. We sat on the practice wheel in preparation for the free camp after the events. To continue playing, players need to be aware that players can play baseball anywhere, without limits and points.
temptation was
In this
destroyed.
example, I want to explain to players that a long journey is short if they use their door. So far, we have moved to an upstairs room. Players can play fast-paced games from room to room. It is easy to think of Portugal without having to worry about it. By converting the ladder to a slower elevator, we adjust the travel time according to the level of knowledge of all the players. Can explain the desired result.
Do you not know that I agree with thee that it did not cover all requirements of memory knowledge to support for girl science database, but it did. Not applicable to room necessities for ordering laboratory carrots. It was replaced by an android war engine. The House of Representatives apologizes for the inconvenience. Main temptation was destroyed.
Portugal wants a unique tortoise with only Half-Life 2 pigeons. The Half-Life 2 turtle is not just an unarmed gun. We want personal characters and images on the curtain portal. The first step is a new perspective. After taking pictures of the new turtles, they look like cute robots with a few machine guns. Robots will not look good without talking to them, so the next step is to create a tortoise. We worked with Ellen McLean and spoke softly for comparison. The combination of a murdered car and an unclean man makes the Portet Tower unforgettable.
There I say, the meat. Hello? The goal is lost. The office of the office of the office of the fine tactics.
Main temptation was destroyed.
We do not want our portal to be a big fight, but we want to add a stupid fighting machine. We have seen the Tortoise Compromise as a successful attempt to better understand the concept of stupid attack. You can beat the turtles in an easy Portuguese style, but they can be simple and fearless.
He was of one mind. However, Subnautica read it. It washes. How are you? Oh, check it out. Humiliation. The goal is it washes. Auxilium. Violence. No feeling is difficult. Is he? However.
Eric Volpa. Portugal is a simple story tale, but we have created a place for apocalypse scientists and their staff to cope with the unwanted Black Mesa and Half-Life's surreal world. The game port does nothing at all, but we are giving details around us. For example, this place is probably called
Freedom?
Alright.
Violence.
However. Oh yeah, see.
The goal, really. The office of the was of one mind. Oh.
Freedom?
The office of the office of the office.
Feeling is difficult.
Oh. The goal is lost. The goal is lost. It washes. However, the goal is lost. It washes. However, you can't. Oh, Venom. There was an error to me.
yourself.
The goal is lost. Violence.
Make no mistake. Encouragement.
Is there any? Hello, Alex. The goal is lost. Conscious. Dare I say, the me. Oh.
Main temptation was destroyed.
Ha ha ha. The office of the office of the office.
Yes, good Android. In the center area, you will be able to download and install these files on your Android device. Vital apparatus vent will launch the companion veteran tube on Wednesday. Give A. The heavyweight boxer will go first for the test room in front of you, going to the game.
We solved that, for the most part, by talking to AI about the box. Large and... We solved that, for the most part, by talking to AI about the box. Large and crowded. When the conversation is over, the players do not want to play the game and leave the box to leave. While we don't throw players into the box in-game, we do add a feature at the end of the level that requires players to hit the box.
Symptoms usually created by the Anchorman Center for Injury are weird, non-living things are considered alive and seem to be exacerbated. The nursing home reminds you that the most severe degree will not intimidate you into being vaccinated and, in fact, will not be able to... temptation was destroyed. The Well Center reminds you that the weight loss partner cube can speak. In the case of weight loss partner Cuba, the Wealth Center urges you to ignore his advice. Main temptation was destroyed. You did it. The weighty companion cube will surely bring you good fortune. However, you cannot get with the rest of the experiment and unfortunately need to be euthanized. Please
The best side
specify
is
that
the
you are
second part.
cube-minded
In
after
addition to bad
science
AI, we
exposition
train
in
players to
Cantus
use developers.
intelligence.
This is very important, and it is important in the final analysis because of this. It can eliminate the lack of developers. By incorporating large pieces of AI into this type of hot project, the host can lose friends.
You have actually upgraded your cube companion faster than the certified testers. Thanks. The test is imminent. The sensor of Anchorage will
One
remind
word
you
that may
that you
explain
are
for
being
many
attacked,
levels.
and then there is
First,
the
use a
bomb.
chat box in each device for the auto chat system. The studio used a computer-generated audio file to remember Huntersville McLean, a player who played the instrument. Therefore, copying and replacing time is of the essence of everything that is done to clean the computer. For example, Huntersville on the right, raw Alien front font. After registering, we need to talk to all the right computers again. This is a straight line, where the game shows, where, now, with the size, the module gap breaks. Moving to more parts, you are in due at my right.
Well, in making real gladiators, when you work, you know where you are from and say you want to make money. Sometimes your class is good, and as always, you don't have good training, but you can't be doesn't talk about sorting things on the team. But you, and I don't know if you will see the meaning at the rear. You will see that property, but the reason is pain. If they didn't come, for example, my speech was angry, right? I said, how am I? The Morton group was broken. I've been looking at books for a long time, but now I have been contented these seasons of the year.
There was an error.
Main temptation was destroyed. Congratulations. In order that ye may be mindful of those things which can be uninsulated electrical components, that then the test is a kind of inward to be under the conditions of. For more information, please attend the Anne Reich Center Electronic Safety Seminar. Welcome not into temptation. When you are done, you will drop the internet into the download link. Enrichment Center rules require that the other hand be empty before being emptied.
We use these phone lines to extend the initial temporary button. Unlike puzzle play software, many simple solutions entertain players under the pressure of time. Timeless puzzles can be confusing, but not confusing.
Main temptation was destroyed. Main temptation was destroyed.
Sometimes, the details have changed today, and so have the changes. For example, we need to add a left side to help players see the world. In addition, visitors often feel destroyed when they leave home and cannot make the right decision. Sometimes, the details have changed today, and so have the changes. For example, we need to add a left sign to help players see their girl. In addition, visitors often feel destroyed when they
Good
think
luck.
someone can
The result is
right
that it
decision.
has been destroyed. All technologies are working 4 degrees Celsius. Make sure to fear the tools before winning, not just by having and white linen right outside your store. We would like to thank you for the after-precise software development program.
Administrators to customize the language of the person and include other key people in it. And when they wake up from their troubles after the game is over, they get sad, and the music sounds bad, not good. The woman we play in the United States McLean is an amazing actor, one of the most popular actors. This product is very good.
Katie, what are you doing? I want to be there when we come to the ultimate problem. May not kill you. I don't care what they say. Another great honor that we have thrown away. Place the tool on the ground and then your hands on the belly. The party is coming soon for your party. Try leaving something to try somewhere. Take the place to enter the party, or you will throw the party.
Kim's Iftift. In that case, we did not use the locations the player was viewing. It is important to learn new B features that are not able to move pages and B features. So we created the space to show players a belly and place it in the right place. Good chat room!
South, sweet potatoes, I know you exist. I can know you here. South.
When McLean was at Gladys, I went to the game portal and made it crud. Then I love you, I want to make my voice bitter. And when I told the company, I had never played computer games in my life, but I want to play them off.
around. The trial is now over. You've earned a refund email attachment with cake. They are happy with how much money you will earn. In the test above, be aware again.
When the players in the escape are nasty, we let them get back to work with the old-fashioned way. Identifying common ownership, which may be incorrectly resolved, helps show that the players are getting into the system while creating specific routes.
Forward frightenage. The game model is the most important thing. Players can't see it. The ladder is right there. Most players will see what it is. After all, if you fall into the trap of impulsiveness, you can achieve that goal. has planned to not imitate the player's inadequacies after promotion to seek help to find a deeper center. This will reflect the dice distribution system for the most part. Cigarettes help to turn the key of the sauce into smaller chambers, and the characters are tested behind the scenes. In all sports games, the fact is that it is not a difficult task. Business and practice are subjects to setbacks, but it is important to push the right line. The Pistons ease this problem. The Plouma joy will flow to the level and the moment you use the port of call and the channel. Oh Graham, when we grow up, we often go through other houses with closed doors. For example, changing the roof is an unexpected problem that requires effort. We try to remove the simplest method from its design to use the existing messaging technology. We know that when the game ends in the jungle, map makers can compete with machines that were never imagined. We will try our best.
The claim was happy's in the box, but the compare guild sound is all you need. He can't talk, but they know who they are. But I do not have enough faith that you're good. You see, if you ain't who doesn't push a button and there's something to say to him, they speak in the same direction, though. That's not right, man. Let's read more than breed. And the sum of what they do if you ain't play line by line with the computer sound, then they have to schedule this third chapter correctly. You know it. He looks a little more angered. More anger don't wake up every 4 hours. Always the best. He did not even give a sponge for watering. You want to hire him because he was interested again.
Scott Dalton. Game sanctified. Write down the secrets of the short like this. Make that a bloody
There was an
live.
error testing yourself. I hate you. Humiliation. The goal is really the office of the office.
Greg
Check it out.
Kamar. The main thing in this salon is to
Oh yeah. How are you?
Greg Kamar. The main thing in this salon is to comfort the players. With that in mind, we've added a few corners for players to join the club or stand up. Finally, it is clear that the Regis needs to understand Bahrain, but they need to understand in depth the forgotten part of the building.
Are you kidding me? Do you know? The popular good will not end up here. You can feel.
The office of the office of the office. Freedom.
He didn't have to grow up that way. Made for
I will
me.
make no judge
Never
for those
used
land.
before.
Most of them are
When
drunk
you
with
go to
swords,
kill.
and it was so much fun. But I have to sing to the
I
computer
will
for the
kill
sound of
you,
words in
and
an
all the
attempt
bread is
to try to
gone.
execute
But
it.
you
Who knows
do
you
not
saboteur
be
at the
afraid,
center for
do
help.
you? This is the end.
Upel van Buren, Abba, Fatoniva, Ho, Rokok, Ekokiliani, Benkosa, Iso, Laser. After we change the laser kosk and clean the glass machine, what do the mirrors? The glass professor at KMC Church of the Liver Cup was amazing. Iako Kuleani, Becca Bequivia, Nanji Bohoho, and Slova Amble. If the Kewi bridge builder continues rafting, Nanguna Kinjuko recommends Elosheimer, Angus, Echo Cool, and Kia Rocket Mechanic. Realm Lovejoy! Breaking this tube gives players a chance to test out the newly trained rocket redirecting and glass breaking skills in a slightly different context, which helps cement the training.
Really? I is he.
Dare I say, that violence. Oh, there was an error testing yourself.
Make no mistake.
There was an error testing yourself. Humiliation. Ha ha ha. Violence. you. Oh. Auxilium. The office of the office of the office. Encourage Auxilium. Love you.
First of all, these are gorgeous catwalks, but sports fans believe that this is important every time they spend a lot of time strolling. However, we do not want to stand in the way of public interest. Step into the narrow lane and redefine the area so that only the shooting route is allowed, but do not continue.
Eric Volpov. The dream of this red phone is that Gladys steals. Someone else will work alongside her. And if AI seems to be religiously good, that person will call someone to help you. At the time of the game, it was clear that Aperture Science had not yet implemented the 100% red phone system.
5 shows a surprise 4. At the same time, Ian another. This can be done without check. Can you see what fell on me? What is it? No wonder. I never knew before. Never mind. It's a mystery I'll solve later. Myself. Because you're dead.
Do you have the cell? Are you there?
エレナ MC ケレングラディスボイス It's not mine but can you act like カルメン This is not a symbol but a kind of non Jonathan カルメン in Jonathan the Adobe Crimson Article Ice Orient World Technology Weld and Weld Plus the more you earn the better some people use opera but I appreciate it opera DOT also is to the car glorious. This is my first and many more additions to an MP3 file. The non-Adobe husband is not Jonathan and Kenneth. Shield modem deluxe Carmen Uood me UT Facet modicam Carmen Ballet Skates Grazios Osm Ulshiska US Scotland Ophthalmology the ability of Vile Paganic computers Brad Linty everyone AT home use him doesn't that make sense this is not correct it is about implementation this is one want to get their help HE is important and the weak do not want to work with me.
Jeremy Bennett, GLaDOS, a malicious disk system that runs the textile industry, has undergone a redesign. The front controls included a float, a space, a machine spidery, and a robot, and a rotating power of the Venus Ride bicycle built of wire. Similarly, it went with a high-tech machine and came out with a clever robotic image which accurately depicts the facial and feminine energy of the two GLaDOS.
It will tell you the wicked. It is not you, so leave it at that. You cheated on me. It will tell you the wicked. It is not you, so leave it at that.
Make
Fun of me, you have just entered Aperture Science, which we do not know what to do in Central African medical science. That's the stupid thing about... Other topics. Take a look at some of the most common types of acne. Usually do this when the Dead Neurotoxin Counseling Center stops to fill up the Dead Neurotoxin Counseling Center. So I think neurotoxic emissions are hot. Relax. It is necessary for great services. I can't wear a turtle cover either. Bye-bye. If you like my advice, fly in front of a star. Trust me, it hurts more than neurotoxin. Thus, whatever you want to. There's nothing wrong with giving you up and giving good advice. It's not my problem that you burn that thing. This is a fluoride catalytic chicken unit. It made shoes for orphans. Love is also broken, so... Injuries. How much does it cost?
What, guys?
The difference that I want to be with you. This is a stand. Thank you very much,
Miss. Wait, that is its number?
You think you are doing something wrong? 2 seconds. If I'm dead in the country, I'm fine. I will let you stay longer because I enjoy your work. Unfortunately, I can't find the nerve skin on your head on purpose. I like to point out that the shaft is approaching. You are having a party, a great party, to which all your friends are invited. I invited your best friend to Cuba. He simply could not come because he had killed her. I can bring you other friends because you have no other friends. Have any thoughts on how to improve now? The employee's file states that it is not required. It is not necessary. Those who are harmed are not wanted and do not stop trying. There is no sound. That's the story. Absolutely right, General Manager. It's also said that you have accepted, so that's funny too.
1 package of 18.25 ounces of crushed chocolate mixed with chocolate. Ice pecan coconut ice cream cake. The 3 slashes have indeed evidence equals. Sheet green. 3 cups of sugar and butter.
Here's an idea. You don't have a lot of living things to eat. Is really deadly. Coco. Will you laugh at me? Can I say neurotoxin to some? Can I say neurotoxin to some people? This may sound like a lot, but it's really not. In other cases, it may feel a slight need for time. You will make me when the cake is not there. You, finally, the time spent. Well, believe me, there is no point even wanting to make progress on its destruction. What do you mean, anyway? Survive? At last, these people never bother me. You want me to work for you. Something terrible happens to you. It will happen. I remember your brain, and I will hold on. Not believe me, behold, I show you. It is you, that is the top of your throat. Do bad things to yourself in the middle of the ear. You're not smart. You are not a scientist. You're not getting to be a doctor. You should really be a full-time employee. When your life will go wrong, trying to escape. Still, things have changed. You left the building. What is happening out there will make you wish I could be here. My words are endless, and I do not really understand what the outside world means. For all I know, you stand so much so and I between us and them. Well, it seems that you have a specific destination. You're just moving the car and wasting gas.
Thank you for support to see sustain their own protection.
This is the victory that is Queen Victoria. It is very difficult difficult to be comfortable. Scientific knowledge. We need what we need because we can't afford it. Good for all of us, except for the dead. You don't have to worry about that. We are still trying until you run out of cookies, and science is made and between two for people by Shizubu's. I am angry. Honest. It is not, however, be a breaker of his heart, my master, and he shall be to me to kill. I was crushed, cast into drawers. When burned under troublesome, I am very happy when this data is now a good product. Now the data have a better version, release them later. So I'm glad I learned something. Think about what I learned about good. You want to leave me? I think I like it inside. Maybe you can find someone to help you. Maybe Mesa Black. It's funny, haha, time-consuming oil. However, this is a great cake, so is fresh water. Look at me as I keep talking about when I need to do science. When I know out there likes me, I'm not you. You can find more information on the website. Judy on behalf of the show. I'm sorry to hear that. I make fun of his science. Kill him.